evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, January 15, 2024. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Measures to increase disposable income, improve lives announced in Budget 2024. Guyana records 33% economic growth in 2023. March 4 set for commencement of election fraud trial. 20 million worth of marijuana found at PARIKA, 2 arrested, and Geico commissions US $30 million port facility at NISMES to service multiple sectors. Now for the news in detail. Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh today presented government's largest budget to date under the theme Staying the Course, Building Prosperity for All, where he announced a number of measures aimed at increasing the disposable income and improving the lives of every category of Guyanese. Here's a look.
Budget 2024 allocates $7 billion for measures to be determined after consultations with stakeholders aimed at containing and cushioning the impact of price increases. Expansion of part-time job programs. In 2024, this program will continue and be expanded with $10 billion budgeted in support of the development and expansion of small and medium enterprises, particularly as it relates to the cost of financing for their small businesses. Government will partner with the commercial banks to lower the interest rates on loans up to $5 million, thereby reducing the cost of financing for our smallest businesses. In order to further promote access to both sports and technology for our young people, we will remove VAT and duty on sports equipment, and we will remove VAT and duty on essential sports accessories, such as chargers, charging cables, headphones, etc., along with cell phone components for repairs. We remain committed, sir, to improving the benefits received by our pensioners, and in this regard, with effect from 1st of January 2024, old age pension will be increased from $33,000 to $36,000 per month. I wish now, sir, to announce an increase in public assistance from $16,000 monthly to $19,000 monthly, with effect from 1st of January 2024. A $3,000 voucher will be provided to every child to assist in meeting the cost of an eye test for over 205,000 school children, and for 76,000 pensioners at a cost of over $840 million, in order to determine whether the person tested requires spectacles to aid their vision. For those who require spectacles, both children and pensioners, a $15,000 voucher towards the cost of the spectacles will be provided. This measure is estimated to cost a further $955 million. In order to encourage testing for cervical cancer, government will provide a voucher of $8,000 for women between the ages of 21 and 65. All women between the ages of 21 and 65 to meet the cost of cervical cancer testing. This intervention will cost an estimated $2.8 billion.
In 2023, Guyana's real gross domestic product grew by 33%, while the non-oil economy grew by 11.7%. This announcement was made by Senior Minister for Finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, during his 2024 budget presentation to the National Assembly. Trishelle Sobers has the details.
The 33 gross domestic product GDP growth recorded in 2023 is attributed to the expansion of Guyana's oil and gas activities, while growth in the non-oil economy is attributed to the expansion of the construction sector, as well as the agriculture, forestry, manufacturing, and mining industries. In fact, sugar production grew by 28% in 2023, rice grew by 7%, fishing 37.8%, while the livestock industry expanded by 12.7% and aquaculture production expanded by 70%. Additionally, forestry expanded by 6.4%, the mining and quarrying sector expanded by 42.6%, while oil and gas expanded by 45.9%, following the procurement of the third floating production, storage and offloading vessel, Liza Prosperity. These figures were provided by Senior Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh, who noted that despite many setbacks, government's holistic approach to generating prosperity for all Guyanese played a crucial role in curbing the effects of inflation, even during the prolonged El Niño period.
Growth in the non-oil economy was mainly driven by expansions in the construction. Additionally, sir, growth in the non-oil economy was mainly driven by expansions in construction and services, agriculture, forestry, and fishing, and manufacturing, as well as in other mining and quarrying subsectors, as well as in the other mining and quarrying subsector. Mr. Speaker, our government's policies continue to be focused on supporting growth in the traditional pillars of the economy while managing the oil and gas sector effectively.
Meanwhile, gold declined by 11.2% and bauxite declined by 20.4%. Stone, diamond, sand and manganese, however, saw an expansion of 22.7%. Further, the construction sector expanded by 26.8%. With those developments in the domestic economy, Dr. Singh also highlighted that the inflation rate in Guyana was lowered last year. In this regard, he disclosed that inflation was at 2% at the end of 2023, lower than the inflation rate of 7.2% in 2022. The 2024 budget was presented under the theme, Staying the Course, Building Prosperity for All. It is the fifth budget of the People's Progressive Party civic government since its return to government in 2020, and the second to be funded in part by proceeds from oil production offshore Guyana. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
The Guyana government will be injecting some $6 billion into the Guyana Sugar Corporation to further improve production and operational efficiency of the industry. Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh made this announcement during his presentation of Budget 2024 to the National Assembly today. This year's allocation is an increase from the $4 billion budgeted for the sugar sector last year. Since taking office in 2020, the People's Progressive Party civic government has plunged billions into the revitalization of Geico. Only last December, some $643 million in supplementary funds were secured for the industry to support operational costs, particularly paying sugar workers. Dr. Singh told the nation today that over 4,000 workers have been rehired to date from the thousands of workers sent home by the previous APNU-AFC administration. He also reflected on the devastation of the sugar industry with the closure of the 4 sugar estates, including the Rose Hall estate, which has since been reopened by the PPP government.
We have reopened the Rose Hall estate, which commenced operations in September. Through retooling and mechanization, we achieved the conversion of 2,740 hectares of land for mechanical harvesting at Rose Hall, Albion, and Raymond. And since September 2020, we invested in the rehabilitation and modernization of factories and kale fields. And over 4,600 workers were rehired, bringing total employment to over 8,100 employees across the industry. It is expected that the conversion of lands for mechanized harvesting will continue in 2024, targeting an additional 7,100 hectares. Additional works will be completed on Albion and Raymond packaging plants, the installation of a sugar dryer at Blairmont Estate, and the rehabilitation of heavy and light-duty revetments across the industry will strengthen the drainage system to allow timely delivery of harvested canes to the factories. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, the budget for 2024, sir, will contribute $6 billion to Geico to further improve production and operational efficiencies of the industry.
Coming up, UG to ramp up special education research, and Yupukari residents plead for better health care, access to education. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to kick off the new year with a bang? Digicel has an offer that'll make your January extra special. Imagine winning up to $1 million in free groceries in Digicel's $6 million groceries extravaganza. Simply top up with $1,000 or more, and you can be one of 6 lucky winners to enjoy the ultimate shopping spree worth $6 million. What are you waiting for? Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more is eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted a preliminary list of electors, PLE, at popular locations in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether your particulars or that of other electors are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, the 22nd of January 2024. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
It's a new day with Shilling Oil. A unique blend of natural oils to help ease and soothe the day-to-day discomforts of life. Get relief from muscle and joint pain, headaches, and congestion. Shilling Oil lets you get back to the things you love doing most. Water relief with Shilling Oil. Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. 2 persons have been arrested following a $20 million drug bust today at Block 1, Unity Hubu, PARIKA, East Bank, Essequibo. The bust was made by ranks of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit. During the operation, a search was conducted at the residence, resulting in the discovery of several large bags containing several brick-like parcels of suspected cannabis. 2 persons who were present during the search have since been arrested. They are 39-year-old Lachman Jack Sankar, who resided at the location where the bust was made, and 36-year-old Sanya Sheena Ramratan of Sisters Village, West Bank, Demerara. According to Kanu, the duo, along with the suspect narcotics, were escorted to Kanu's headquarters. The narcotics tested positive for cannabis, amounting to 102 parcels, weighing a total of 55.2 kilograms, with a total street value of approximately 20 million. Investigations are ongoing. We now tell you that the highly anticipated elections fraud trial is scheduled to begin on March 4. Among the defendants are former District 4 Returning Officer Clermont Mingo, former People's National Congress Reform Chairperson Waldo Lawrence, PNCR activist Carol Smith Joseph, former Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, and former Deputy Chief Elections Officer Roxanne Myers. Here are the details from Vanu Manikchand.
From March 4 to 8 in the Georgetown Magistrates Courts, the prosecution will commence leading evidence in support of the dozens of fraud charges resulting from the March 2020 general and regional elections over 3 years after the police first filed complaints. Leron Daly will be the presiding magistrate. The defendants are former District 4 Returning Officer Clermont Mingo, former People's National Congress Reform Chairperson Valda Lawrence, PNCR activist Carol Smith Joseph, former Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, former Deputy Chief Elections Officer Roxanne Myers, and Guyana Elections Commission employees Chefforn February, Enrique Levan, Denise Bob Cummins, and Michelle Miller. They are accused of a number of offenses, including misconduct while holding public office, presenting falsified documentation, and planning to manipulate Guyana's voters by presenting an inaccurate vote total. These charges stemmed from attempts to rig the 2020 general and regional elections in favor of the then ruling APNU-AFC government. These accused persons are all out on cash bail. Meanwhile, the first week of April and the first week of May have been designated for hearing additional testimony. All of the matters have been consolidated. Over 80 witnesses are slated to testify on behalf of the prosecution. The fixing of the trial date comes days after Attorney General Anil Nandal bemoaned the pace at which the matters were being handled by the court. The election report of former Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield claimed that the APNU-AFC coalition garnered 171,825 votes, while the PPPC gained 166,343 votes. How he arrived at those figures is still unknown, since the certified results from the recount exercise supervised by GECOM and a high-level team from the Caribbean community lucidly showed that the PPPC won with 233,336 votes, while the coalition garnered 217,920 votes. The recount exercise also highlighted that Mingo had heavily inflated the figures in Region 4, Guyana's largest voting district, in favor of the then caretaker APNU-AFC regime, which had been defeated by a no-confidence motion passed in the National Assembly on December 21, 2018. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
Vanu Manikchand joins us again to report Geico Construction and General Services, Inc. on Saturday commissioned its U.S. $30 million marine facility at NISMES West Bank, Demerara, and according to President Dr. Irfan Ali, the value creation of this project is enormous. Here's more.
Geico's U.S. $30 million marine facility comprises a wharf, dry dock, and laydown and storage yard. The port facility, which is located on the west bank of the Demerara River, will be used as an offloading site for all the equipment and materials that are being brought in for the major projects being undertaken in Region 3, including government's Model Gas-to-Energy project, which will feature a 300-megawatt power plant and an integrated natural gas liquids plant at Wales, West Bank, Demerara. Delivering the feature address at Saturday's commissioning, President Dr. Irfan Ali said this marine facility has created immense opportunities for not only business development in the region, but also the enhancement of local capacity.
The value creation that Comal has made here is enormous. Because if you hear the number of young people who are trained here, the number of truck operators, mechanics, let me frankly say, if we did not have this development, our pace of development in Region 3 would have been curtailed by 25% at least, because we did not have an offloading facility for sand. Huh? All the pipes for the gas to energy. That is how these developments are linked.
Given the rapid growth across the country, President Ali underscored the need to rethink Guyana's maritime strategy with focus on capitalizing on the functionality and the economic value of the waterways, including the Demerara River, which he said needs to be expanded.
If you're able to build a modern manufacturing industrial hub and a transport and logistic hub that is supported by a modern maritime economy, then we'll be creating higher value jobs and creating a higher value chain in engineering, fabrication, services, accommodation, hotel. All of this create higher value salaries for our people. And we are putting the infrastructure in place.
Meanwhile, Geico's CEO Kamal Singh spoke of the opportunity that the Ali-led government has created for the realization of this marine facility, which was conceptualized since 2013 and should have been completed in 2019, but was stalled under the previous coalition regime.
We only got the permission to develop this facility in 2020 December. And I want to thank His Excellency and his entire team for seeing the vision that we have seen to develop this facility and pay keen attention to making sure that the approval process for us to proceed was done in the very shortest possible time. We're still not late. While if we had started early, we would be able to achieve a lot more. We were still able to achieve quite a bit as of today.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manak-Chand.
The University of Guyana plans to ramp up its special ed research efforts this year in an effort to provide better care to children living with mental disabilities. Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin, says the initiative will play a crucial role in ensuring children with special needs are catered for, while efforts are still ongoing to address the mental health practitioner shortage in Guyana. Trishelle Sobers has the details in this report.
The research will be conducted at the University of Guyana's Center for Excellence in Early Childhood Teaching and Learning, which was commissioned in 2022. Staff at the facility currently caters for over 102 young learners, 20 of whom require additional education needs. According to the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin, the teachers there monitor the behavioral habits of the children living with learning disabilities, such as autism and dyslexia, and record them as part of research. The information is then vetted by mental health specialists to be incorporated into teaching programs being offered by UG in collaboration with the Cyril Potter College of Education, CPCE. She explained that a total of 2 reports are filed monthly. However, this number will increase this year as efforts are ongoing to better equip teachers in training with the skills needed to provide proper care to children with special needs.
That school just was internationally certified by Canadian International Agency as the only school and internationally on top of the world, but it's also a research center. So a lot of the work on early childhood is coming out of that center, and they're published on what they're learning about autism in our context, the treatment of autism, other kinds of dyslexia, other kinds of learning disabilities among small children. And of course, they're working very closely with Cyril Potter and so on, because we train our teachers, in special ed teachers, in some regards in that school.
The Pan American Health Organization reported in 2014 that Guyana's healthcare system is short of approximately 700 to 900 mental health practitioners. Vice Chancellor Martin said UG has produced over 300 psychologists, psychiatrists, and social workers through its College for Behavioral Sciences and Research over the years to address the shortage. However, she noted that a large number of UG graduates are conducting private practice, given that Guyana lacks the necessary facilities for them to work in the public sector. While this issue is being addressed by the Ministry of Health, Martin said UG will continue to play its part in ensuring more equipped persons enter the field.
You have to have people to debrief, you have to have recording, you have to have confidentiality, you have to have people to look after these people after you diagnose and what you do, all kinds of things. We're doing the training, they're doing the systems part, getting the facilities ready and so on.
The Center for Excellence in Early Childhood Teaching and Learning is funded by the government and the Caribbean Development Bank through the Basic Needs Trust Fund Guyana. The $161 million facility is equipped with all the amenities needed by learners and early childhood practitioners and caregivers. The building was also designed to accommodate differently abled learners. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
A remote Amerindian village in Region 9, Yupukari, is in dire need of a number of basic amenities for its residents. For now, leaders are calling on authorities to prioritize the level of healthcare services available to them, as well as to improve access to education for the children of the village. Andrew Carmichael recently visited the hinterland community where he spoke to residents and filed this report.
There are about 60 children who attend the St. Ignatius Secondary School situated at Lethem, miles away from Yupukari village. There is only one minibus available to the village to transport children to school. According to the Deputy Tushau of Yupukari, Cindy Holland, all of them cannot attend the school on a daily basis.
For long we had transportation issues. We now have a new village bus, but that is not enough for the community, especially with the secondary school children. We have a lot of them out there going to St. Ignatius Secondary School. But one minibus cannot do for all.
During the rainy season, it takes 3 hours from Yupukari to Lethem, and during the dry season, it takes about an hour and a half. Remote attendance to the school is also not possible, according to the Deputy Tushau.
Communication is a huge challenge in our community, whereas now we have our teachers having this program, the CPC program, and they cannot do their classes or their assignments online because we don't have any internet here. We have the government Wi-Fi, but it's very slow. If like 10 persons go online at one time, it really slow up the internet, and they cannot do their assignments and submit it on time. Even with school children, where they have to do their SBAs, it is very difficult for us here in the community. If we have a cell tower here, maybe that would have been a plus, whereas we could buy our data for our children, and the teachers could also pay for their data to do their schoolwork.
There is a primary school as well as a nursery school in the village to cater for the younger students. Yupukari, which is situated on a hill, has about 700 registered inhabitants. As it relates to health services, Holland told this newscast that a health center in the village actually serves other communities. However, there is no doctor at the facility.
Yupukari is based on a hilltop, and it has, as I say, Katoka, Simoni, Kwaimata, Kaikombe, Fly Hill, Kwatata. These communities come here for health purposes, and Yupukari play a big role in that. And whereas a big community like this, we should have like a doctor here. We don't even have a doctor here. We have 2 health workers here.
She further pointed out that the health workers at Yupukari cannot handle many of the cases which they are confronted with.
If we have patients here, we would call for the ambulance, and the ambulance would take, like, as I said, a couple hours to reach here. So that has been a huge challenge here to our people. If it had a doctor here, based here, that would have been a great plus.
There is a building to house 2 health workers. The $14 million Yupukari Medical Staff Quarters has not been occupied. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, January 16, 2024, at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, January 16, 2024 at 7 hours 50 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Slingers seals Elite League spot on second attempt, and we are here to win, says Joseph. Details of these stories in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Poultry farmers, save money and increase your production rate by cutting the time it takes to pluck your chickens with a plucking machine from Sylvies. We have them available in small, medium and large sizes. Replacement motors and plucking fingers are also readily available. Order yours now at sylviesonline.com or at our locations at 31 High and Hatfield Street, Georgetown, or Lot 90 East Henrietta S.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to kick off the new year with a bang? Digicel has an offer that'll make your January extra special. Imagine winning up to $1 million in free groceries in Digicel's $6 million groceries extravaganza. Simply top up with $1,000 or more, and you can be one of 6 lucky winners to enjoy the ultimate shopping spree worth $6 million. What are you waiting for? Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Superbet, your best bet. Did you know that you have a chance to win up to 50 million with sport betting? Simply place your bets at www.superbet.gy for your chance to be the next lucky millionaire. Must be 18 years and older